Greetings, fellow traders. Paul here. It's time for the daily market wrap for Thursday, September the 3rd, 2020. I hope everybody had a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice, so please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. All right, let's check and see where we left off the market here today. So SPX struggled a little bit today, down $125.78. Monthly chart got back below the upper Bollinger Band, left a big upper shadow here. I mean, that was really, almost all of today's range, right? Weekly chart, we got one more day left in the week. It's kind of coming up really close to this this open gap on the weekly, and it's also got an open gap on this weekly below. We've been talking about this a lot here on our live streams and on the videos right here, that these could be potential magnets right here. So we've been getting extended, and we also said we're kind of coming up in this kind of big cloud rift area right here. I call it the Cloud Canyon, where some volatility really could start to pick up, right? And it just kind of makes sense. It's heading up into election season. So we got that going on here too. So we're going to definitely be keeping an eye on that one. Let's take a look at the daily chart. So MOC on the sell side was about $2.7 billion. They did try to rally it up at the end of the day. So what that did is it left us with a trend box today and a lower shadow here below the upward trend line, right? So really key stuff tomorrow is how we handle these levels. Now, if the futures end up gapping down and it's really nasty, we just kind of got to look at it, right? It might come back and rally up and fill that gap right there. There's also a gap down here too, so we really just have to judge the price action tomorrow. But if we gap up tomorrow, we gap up in this range, we want to see if we put a momentum move through that level tomorrow for a trade to fill that gap, and then we want to see how we close and see if we get any volume on that one to see if it makes sense, this market's ready to really start reversing. Right, so that's kind of one of the key things right there. So same thing with SPY. Big volume on the SPY today, right? Big selling going on today. So we definitely weren't dearth of volume today. So which is good, right? So it gave us some good opportunities at the open. We weren't expecting the market to really flush like this. Now the market did give us a lot of clues yesterday, right? There was a lot of bearish engulfing candles and a lot of hanging man candles out there. So and the VIX was really high yesterday. Of course, the VIX has been high, but it was weird yesterday how the VIX was just screaming up with the market, right? So not surprised to see us get a little bit of a down move pre-market, but right, so we weren't really down that much, maybe like 15, 20 points, something like that. We had a lot of key levels right here, but this was really kind of the key ones right here this morning, right? So this morning we shorted it. Once we broke these signal zones right here, right, this gave us a nice inspiration here to look short through these levels, right? So it was very important stuff. We got a lot of key inside candles for some extra, for some good entries on those. And then after that, we were pretty much just kind of saw a lot of chop sloppy type action, and the volatility got really high. It made it a little bit trickier to trade the options, right? So and there weren't a lot of high confidence setups right here. I mean, this was pretty good. I like the red doji right here, right? That kind of led down to the next zones, but you can see a lot of tricky price action on those on the intraday. But it is what it is, right? So it was, but it was still a good day. It was a good morning, and there were a couple little opportunities throughout the day that did set themselves up, right? So we had that going on there. This level right here really hasn't been tested yet on the MES, but what we could do is we could look here and just kind of put this channel up and just kind of see how this holds throughout the evening here, going into tonight, and see how that goes into tonight and into tomorrow. So that could be interesting there. Let's take a look at the Qs and see how they behave today. So the clues and the Qs, right? So this was the Qs were really weak this morning. The Nasdaq was weak this morning. They kind of gave us some heads up too. Apple has been weak too, statistically doing what it likes to do after stock splits, right? So anyway, inside 15, that ultimately broke its way down out of the 15 or below here on the Qs. Let's take a look at the IWM. Right, they try to show a little bit of strength early on with the banks and the airlines, and then we flushed down here and and saw a big move down here, and then just kind of this choppy, sloppy mess. But again, a lot of good short opportunities at the open today. Let's take a look at Apple and see how that behaved today. So this was one that was great. We have some members that did well in this one. I was busy with the SPY, but this was a great one too. So double inside 15 at the open, right? Big shooting stars going into the day, right? And then that just broke that 15 or below and just gave a beautiful move down. Rallied back up. Where's that rally? Let's take a look. Let's pull it up right here. Rally right to about 50% retrace right there, and then just kind of worked its way back down. And it was an 80 MA to the downside, 80 MA day on the downside for Apple. Tesla also gave some interesting shorting opportunities today. Not that we like the short Tesla, but sometimes it gets compelling, right? So a big shooting star here off the 15 or high, couldn't break over these levels, gave a nice move down there, and then everything else is just kind of scalpy on Tesla today. But other than that, guys, that was I mean, you could look at any chart today and be like, that was really bearish, right? But let's take a look and see what we've got going on tonight. So we've got some earnings out. So Docu has some earnings out right here. I think they did okay. They're getting a new CFO, so we're kind of chopping around in the range right here. They did have a better earnings than expected, so we'll see what kind of move that gives. It's obviously not making a big move after hours. AVGO Broadcom reports tonight too. So that could be pretty interesting. It's numbers haven't come out yet, but it's kind of jumping around pre-market. And finally, SWBI, right? So this one's been pretty big recently, just because of recent moves. It gave a nice little pop here on a beat, but really not doing any sort of gap and go type stuff. So again, guys, it's going to all be about the market tomorrow. It's all going to be about what kind of volume we get before the 3-day holiday weekend. It's all going to be about whether we can push below today's lows and what kind of volume we get with that. So let's just kind of keep an eye on it and see where we go from there. And what they have in store for us. So other than that, guys, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your evening. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.